Breaking news this morning, the Justice Department has just said Attorney General Pam Bondi has directed prosecutors to seek the death penalty against Luigi Mangione. He's the man charged with killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson on a New York City street back in December.
One of the crimes Mangione is charged with is murder with a firearm, which is a capital offense under federal law. So the death penalty is a possibility. But in federal death penalty cases, it is a two-stage process. The jury not only decides guilt, but then they are the ones who ultimately decide whether the defendant lives or is put to death. It is not the judge that hands out the sentence. That's why death penalty juries have to be qualified, and it's a much more onerous process to seat a capital jury, because you have to ask them questions, difficult questions, like if the death penalty is on the table, can you actually sentence someone to death? So this is a very big decision by the federal government, maybe not a surprising one, but given how rarely over the years the federal government has sought the death penalty, it is certainly a significant decision by Pam Bondi.
What cases have there been where the federal government has been requesting the death penalty? And I'm thinking, more than one person having been killed. It is unusual.
I believe that the most recent death penalty execution in the federal system was carried out in 2021, and that was related to a crime that was committed, just to give you some context, in 1996. So that's how long death penalty cases can take. And at the federal level, it's interesting because, states like New York may not have the death penalty, but technically every state has, and I'm using air quotes, the death penalty, because they could be charged with a federal crime in that state and put to death, even if the state itself does not have the death penalty, as is the case with New York.
So the federal government is requesting the death penalty for this man. I'm going to just throw in my opinion. I think they're doing this to make an example out of him. That's my opinion. I think they want to make an example out of him. And man, y'all got to think about this. Think about what kind of pull the insurance companies got to get the federal government to request the death penalty. This man, now, I'm not one to be on his side. I don't support him taking somebody's life. But this man took one person's life that was, a CEO of an insurance company, and they're seeking the death penalty. You know what that tells me? That tells me that they want to make an example out of him in order to warn the public, to let them know, hey, if you go after the 1%, this can happen to you. Because how often does this happen? You hear the guy said that the last time the federal government had requested something like this was in 1996, and it didn't happen until 2020. This really puts things in perspective. It lets you know who and what the government prioritizes. Obviously, money. Obviously, the people that make the money. And I am damn sure, we have people that have done far worse than what this man did and did not receive the death penalty. I think this is the federal government showing you their hand, showing you who they prioritize, showing you what's important to them. I could have sworn we've had people lose their life, and last I checked, wasn't Elon Musk just trying to get that man who took George Floyd's life? He was trying to get that police officer released from prison. I'm pretty sure he was trying to do that. He was trying to pardon him. So a police officer takes an innocent man's life, and he's on the brink of getting pardoned. This young man, he takes the life of a CEO at an insurance company, and they seeking a death penalty. That's crazy. Put that into perspective, because what are they going to do when people get tired of paying for these insurance companies to basically rip you off, to rob you? These insurance companies, it's not mandatory for them to cover you, but it's mandatory for you to have insurance. That really sounds like they muscling you. Homeowners insurance, renters insurance, car insurance. I remember when Obama made it mandatory for you to have health insurance. You remember that? And if something were to happen, insurance companies, they can find ways to void your policy, so that way they do not have to actually hold up their end of the deal. That really sounds like some mafia shit to me, like muscling people into forcing them to pay money, but then when it comes for you to handle your end of the bargain, oh, I'm sorry, we can't do it. I'm sorry, you're not qualified. You're not qualified. Had you did this, then yeah, we recover it, but you didn't do that. And they find reasons to void policies all kinds of ways. Even if you get your car, let's say you get a car and you get some work done from like a third party mechanic, they'll void your entire warranty so that they don't cover your car. Personally, I think this is a scare tactic by the government to use their muscle to try to strong arm people, to make an example out of him. You know, if they make an example out of him, then people in the public, if they had thought about rebelling in any kind of way, this could happen to them. And I'm not telling you to go out there and go against the government or attack these people because you received the small when you ordered a large. I'm not talking about that. But a lot of people, I think they're starting to become aware of being scammed, not only by the government, but by these insurance companies, by these 1% billionaires, these people that make so much money that they own the color blue, that they own the stop signs that we run over. Make sure y'all safe out there and take care of yourself. And I think this is another reason why a lot of people are starting to like really separate themselves from the US government. Like, why would the government ask for the death penalty on somebody who took the life of a man that was a CEO of an insurance company? That doesn't make sense. That just tells me that these insurance companies and these politicians, they all working together. These banks, all of these people, Walmart, McDonald's, these super huge companies that are just so big, they working with the government. That's all that tells me. Make sure y'all take care of y'all business. Make sure y'all safe out there. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that. I got more videos coming, and we out.